Hey everyone, welcome to a new video. In this video I'm going to be adding a Niagara system to a line trace or projectile hitting a wall. Effectively, I've been asked in the comments how to add a sort of an explosion to an object that's hit. Now this was on my destruction video, so hopefully this is probably in line with somebody shooting something which gets destroyed and an explosion happening at the same time. So again, that was based on a comment that somebody put in a video. So if you've got any comments of questions of your own that you might want seen as a video, or obviously just a response, pop them down below, and if I get a chance I'll get back to you. I always make an effort to get reply to everybody, so that's that. Anyway, let's get into the video. So what I've got here is I've just got the first person shooter template with the variant of the arena, because that comes equipped with the weapons. Now what I've done is I've just set up the basic area, put in one of the spawners, and now I've got a weapon. I've also converted this into a line trace system, and as you can see I've added an explosion when the actual projectile hits the wall. So the line trace sort of hits instantly, and the projectile eventually gets to its end location and an explosion forms. This is relatively simple, but there is some prerequisites. Now one of them is going to be a Niagara system, so I've just used the sample explosion. Now you can make your own by going to FX Niagara system, and if you scroll down there is I think that's the one that I created, to be honest. Where is it? It was under basic explosion, I think. To be honest, it might actually just be that one. Let's just try explode. There we go, simple explosion. So pick simple explosion, hit create. You'll get this one effectively, and all I've done to make it look a little bit fancier is I've changed the particle colors to these were all defaulted to white. I've just gone in here, clicked initialize particle, and made them all subtly redder and redder. So this is like the little spots that pop out. This is the things that shoot out the top, and this is like the big puffs of smoke. I've set them slightly different variations of orange, and you get this kind of explosive effect. Once you've got the system, everything else is relatively simple. Now again, I've used the first-person shooter template just because it puts things together for you that you don't have to worry about, and it gives you a gun setup and all that. So there's a first-person character blueprint which handles the picking up of weapon. Sorry, it's in here, blueprints and BP shooter character. This has the logic which can handle equipping the weapons, so you can just steal that. Then there's some pickups, so you've got some weapons already in here, and you've got these pickup points, which are these floating orbs in the game. So obviously you can run into these, and it's all made for you. Now, what I've gone and done is I've modified the actual the actual weapons logic itself. So whenever a bullet is shot, let me just go to the actual weapon blueprint. I think for the pistol, no, it's not. It's in the base. Let's go to this one, and here we go. So up in the top right, I've just got to the weapon shooter base. This will take you to its parent, which is here. Wonderful. So typically what you'd see is on fire bullet, which you can get to on the left here as under functions. The first thing that it does is it spawns the bullet and shoots it off into the world. Then it plays an animation and some other stuff. After the actual projectile has been fired, all I've done here is I've added a line trace by channel. I get the same spawn location as the bullet, break this up, get a forward vector which adds some distance to the line trace. I take 5 away from the Z-axis, just because the bullet and the line trace were quite far away from each other. Now I know the line trace was actually straight and the bullets dip, but just at the kind of range point that I was at, 2000 sort of units, taking 5 off the Z just made it feel a little bit more realistic. You can obviously play around with these on your own, but I've added a line trace. But this is not the reason for the video. But this is kind of like a prerequisite of you need a line trace if you want to handle it that way. But if you don't, you can obviously just use the projectile. So let's cover the projectile first, because this is the standard way. So when the projectile hits something, so if we go to the projectile blueprint, which you can do that by finding this spawn actor bullet class, and then here you've got this BP shooter projectile. Click on that, it'll take you to it, and then once you're in here we can modify it. So what I've done is I've just read through the blueprint, and we can see that the projectile hits something, it does some switching of some enumerators, then we actually get the actor to stick to a surface. This is where I then spawn the system. So genuinely it's as simple as spawn system at location, pick the actual system that you want. So you could just pick simple explosion if you don't want to make your own, but I made my own based off the sample. Give it a location, which all I've done is because this whole blueprint is effectively the projectile, I've just said get actor transform, which is the location of the projectile in the world. So effectively wherever it's stuck to, it's going to be creating the explosion there. Now in the actual projectile, the system itself, it should automatically destroy itself. So if we go to the Niagara system, and under, I think it's under initialize particle, there'll be a lifetime. So this will last between 1 and 2.25. This one will last between 1 and 2, and this one will last between 2 seconds. So after 2 seconds, this sort of emitter should destroy itself. So that's all covered in the where are we now? In the system. So it'll automatically activate and it'll automatically destroy, and then we just let the rest of the bullets sort of wiggle off the wall and fall over, run as planned. So realistically, just adding this into here is enough, because this will be spawned, it'll automatically start, and then it'll automatically destroy itself. So this all works. Now if you want to do it where the line trace hits, obviously you still need this spawn system at location, except we'll find where the line trace hits. So with a line trace, just in case you're using this kind of system, we'll go for the out hit, we'll do break. By using break, it gives you sort of information like where it hit and all that sort of stuff. So I'm going to want the impact point, and we're going to spawn. Let's just paste that in. So spawn off the line trace, execute that. Where are we going? Where's the location? It's going to be the impact point. You can leave rotation and scale set as they were. Make sure you've got the right system picked. And to be honest, that's pretty much it. So let me just go and remove the system from here, just so we don't get two of the same effect, so you can ensure that it's working. So if I hit play now, and I pick up the weapon and do a line trace, you can see that the here we're not actually hitting the wall because it's too far away. You see my range is only set to 2000. So here the line trace is exploding before the bullet even gets there. So with this kind of system, with the projectile, you might want to add a bit of a delay. Yeah, I'm not too sure how you'd handle that. Obviously, a lot of systems, when they're using line traces, they'll just put sort of like a muzzle flash at the end of the gun and not actually do a bullet projectile to give the impression that the gun's firing. Typically, what you'd want to do is either pick line trace or projectile. So, for example, if you've got like an RPG, you're going to probably want projectile, so then the actual explosive rocket travels through the air. Whereas if you've got like an automatic, you probably want to pick a line trace with just a muzzle flash to simulate that the gun's actually firing. But that's it. That's pretty much it. You're just spawning that system where the end point is, and you get the explosive effect. Obviously there's a bit of trick to making the explosion. However, I'm not that skilled in Niagara systems, so I'm probably going to have to point you in the right direction if that's what you're after. But if not, if this helps, please consider liking, comment if it's not, or if you want something slightly tweaking, let me know. And if you don't like the video, obviously let me know in the comments why, so then I can improve going forward. Also, if you like the soundtrack, let me know. I know some of the Discord community quite like the game that this soundtrack is from. If you know what it is, let me know in the comments. Cheers, speak to you in another one.